Hey guys, Mega Sam Gaming here, coming at you with another video on Mega Man 11. Today, I'll be ranking the special weapons you get by defeating the 8 bosses in the game. And before we get started, while recording this footage, I was using the power-up that makes you have infinite weapon energy. So no, I'm not hacking the game, and as always, these are only my opinions. Anyway, let's just get into it. Let's just jump right into it, guys. Yeah. Number 8. Pile Driver. The Pile Driver is Impact Man's weapon, and in my opinion, the worst in the game. Keep in mind, all the weapons in this game are very good. This is just the worst of the best. When you use the Pile Driver, you launch forward and impale yourself into whatever wall or enemy is in your path. The weapon is good for air maneuverability if you time it right, but the little bounce back after you hit a wall or enemy is really awkward and can result in some deaths. Using the power gear when using the Pile Driver is not very useful, as it uses more weapon energy and just results in a bigger ending explosion. Overall, this weapon didn't make an impact for me. Number 7. Scramble Thunder. Scramble Thunder is Fuse Man's weapon, and a pretty situational weapon. It can send an electric shock above or below you, which will travel in both directions on walls, and if it hits an enemy, will create a decently sized electric ball. When using the power gear, the ball itself is the thing moving along the ground, doing more damage. This weapon is a good anti-aerial and good for ground enemies, but not good in a larger number of scenarios. This weapon sparked my interest, but couldn't keep me hooked. Number 6. Chain Blast. Chain Blast is the special weapon of Blast Man, and kinda hard to use, to be honest. When you use it, a small explosive will be shot and can be remotely detonated by holding down and pressing the attack button. You can chain the bombs to get a bigger explosion. When you use the power gear form of this weapon, a giant bomb is shot that gives the maximum explosion on impact. This can also break explosive blocks and gabioles while doing decent damage. This weapon is an explosive choice. Number 5. Blazing Torch. This is the special weapon of Torchman, and a very strange weapon indeed. This weapon shoots out a flaming ball diagonally up, which soon turns into a dragon that shoots down diagonally. The power gear version makes 3 large dragons, covering lots of space. This weapon goes through shields and does lots of damage. It's a strange weapon for sure, but is good in quite a few circumstances. Now to fire up the top half of the list. Number 4. Acid Barrier. The Acid Barrier is the special weapon of Acid Man, and one of the best shields in the entire franchise. Using the Acid Barrier will create an acid barrier, funnily enough, around you that blocks enemy projectiles. It also gives you an acid shot that has a curve that can prove more useful than it looks. But the power gear version of this is really good. It creates a stronger barrier that damages enemies. Whenever the barrier is hit with a projectile, small acid drops come out, and the acid shot is powered up. This is a great weapon that can really help overcome many hard sections. Number 3. Block Dropper. The Block Dropper is Blockman's special weapon, and is pretty good. When you use this weapon, 4 blocks fall down in front of you, breaking and damaging enemies on impact. The power gear version of this weapon makes tons of blocks fall, making it really powerful. The one downside to the Block Dropper is that if an enemy is really close, then they won't be hit. This weapon is a solid pick in many scenarios. Number 2. Tundra Storm. The Tundra Storm is the special weapon of Tundra Man, and pretty overpowered. When you use the Tundra Storm, a whirlwind will appear around you that goes all the way to the top and bottom of the screen, dealing insane damage. The power gear version of this weapon is a screen nuke version of the weapon, though this does drain weapon energy really quickly. I am putting this at the number 2 spot, however, because I want to give number 1 to something that isn't just so boring, you know? Also, the pause that Mega Man does whenever he uses it is awkward, but if you need some enemies on the deep freeze, just use Tundra Storm. Number 1. Bounce Ball. What? Bounce Ball at number 1? What is this? Well, let me explain. The Bounce Ball is the special weapon of Bounce Man, and the best special weapon in the game. The bounce ball fires 3 balls forward, diagonally up or diagonally down, depending on how you tilt. They bounce off walls, and the Power Gear version shoots 3 behind you as well. They don't do much damage, but are a great anti-aerial, great for downward enemies. The Power Gear version can even be used as a screen nuke in some scenarios, and it bounces into the #1 spot. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because it really helps me grow as a channel. That's going to be it for my Mega Man 11 content for a bit. Who knows, I might even return to it later down the line. Be sure to check out my game review of this game by clicking the link in the description. And as always, Mega Sam Gaming out.